So let's start. Thank you for everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be here to speaking about what was my main research during about 2 years as a nurse in public health in Brazil. We have so many sensitive themes to research, and this research was about homeless people, and we developed so many lines of research inside the main research. And I will speak about the qualitative research, listening the vulnerable ones about their perception about health system, about the health and sick concepts. So we know the homeless people is a worldwide problem. This World Economic Forum says about that 150 million people were homeless worldwide. And even inside the Millennium Development Goals, we must to reduce the inequalities in social inequalities. And when we talk about vulnerable ones and healthcare providers and healthcare system, we have so many gaps, we have so many problems to solve. So we decided to use the evidence-based practice as our conductor for prepare this research. And we start to 3 main pillars or columns in our research was use scientific evidence, the professional experience, the vulnerable ones. We plan to hear about from them their needs, their problems, their thoughts about health and safety. And our final product was a therapeutic itinerary for vulnerable ones, for homeless people. Inside our main cities here in our state, I'm living in Brazil, in south of Brazil, and we conducted this research in 2 different cities, the biggest cities, the capital, Florianópolis, and Joinville, another big city. We know the homeless people even stay in biggest cities because there is more opportunities. And here is a city, a tourist city. So during the summer, so many people came and maybe stay here, and we have during the year, they have employed and they can go back to their own cities and stay here. And the population of homeless is growing each year. Even in pandemic time was worst. They have a place to stay, but the population of homeless grew a lot. So our main question of this line of the research was, what paths do the homeless population take to access health services? It's looks like a simple question, but when we are talking about this kind of population, it is very complex. And you will see with the answers, I will share some personal answers from our interviewed people. You will see how this is complex and how it's difficult to public health managers to plan the the healthcare provided to them. So about this study, we base it on the concept of knowledge translation. It's very important for health researches. We apply our researches, and we use the clinical research standards to apply at public health. So we started with a scope review, checking around the world what kind of policies, what kind of programs they were providing to homeless people. When we had this scope review ready, we checked and created an evaluation matrix, what was used to prepare our line of interviews, our questions. We used this evaluation matrix. And for us, it was very important to do this step because now this evaluation matrix will be shared with another states of our country. And all the public managers can use this same matrix to conduct their research, their investigations for this kind of population. The process of creating this matrix was very nice because we involved the homeless people. We asked them to come with us and discuss our questions. We created and we validated our questions with them. We have a popular movement, very strong here in our city. So they help us a lot to construct this matrix. Using this matrix, we prepare our interviews, and we split the process, interviewing homeless population, health managers, and health professionals. With these three columns, we could solve all the perspective about this team. For this presentation, I will use the first one is the impressions and the answers from homeless population. Just for we think about why is it important for nurses, because of course we have an important role in public policies, and inside the primary care and other health services, we have nursing protagonists, or we should have, but it's very important we play our role as not as just executing the healthcare, but thinking about the healthcare. About the humanization, expansion, and improvement in health services, and it's necessary we think about public health based on evidence and scientific evidence and solid evidence. So about the matrix and about the logical theoretical model, if someone likes to check, sorry?
What is in this room here? I'm gonna be in here by myself.
Sorry? Someone's talking. Okay, I will. Oh. So if someone wants to check, can scan the QR code just to check the structure. It's a big structure, so it was not possible to put at the presentation. About the results of this this cut of the research, the analysis of 195 interviews allowed us to understand the conceptions of health disease process among the homeless population, as well as the relationships with these meanings that encourage them to seek informal and formal assistance in the search for healthcare. So the most important things was understand their conceptions and the meanings of these conceptions and when and why they look for assistance. The conceptions of health and illness for this population are diverse, but converge on the relevance of human needs and the ability to carry out daily activities for their health care. It is very, it looks like very simple, but it's very important to say, because sometimes we put apart this population when we think about healthcare providers and when we think about healthcare places, we put this population apart. It says, no, they have different needs. They are different. They are excluded population. But no, when we talk to them about the conceptions, we can realize they have the same needs of all of us. They are part of us. They are a population in a different situation, but they have the same needs, and they have to do the same things. They want to keep your daily activities. So it's very important to treat them as it's the principle of equity. We recognize their needs, and if their needs are different, we have to provide something different. So we have to adapt our health care for them. I don't know, there is a microphone open. I'm listening myself.
Yeah, I'm checking. I think you're the only one. Yep, no.
Okay. Thank you. Here's some dates about the profile of the participants. Was about median age in 40s, and the most of them are male, and some of them are transgender. It's a big problem. If you have problem to provide healthcare to transgender in the majority of the population, for the homeless people is most difficult. And about the main problems, the main health issues, they are looking for care, or they refer by themselves, was mental health issues, access and enrichment. It's very important because the most of them says about do not be welcome in the health service. Compliance to the treatment, it's very a big problem. They start the treatment when they have an emergence, and they conduct the exams and realize or have, for example, tuberculosis or HIV, AIDS, and they start the treatment, but they walk around the city, they move their places, they stop to go to the healthcare service, and they not compliant the treatment. And of course, all the problems are in relation with social programs, employment and housing programs. We realize we could observe it when the health care is linked with social care. it works better. Here I start to put some speeches from them, and you can see the relationship between being on the streets and not have illnesses, the relationship about social factors. So a participant says, illness, we take every precaution, right? Especially us who are homeless, because we deal with a lot of trash. We need to be careful with what we find, what we eat, because sometimes we find ourselves in a situation where we have to eat on the streets. Sometimes we depend on trash to feed ourselves, and we have to be cautious, making sure the package we are going to pick up to eat is closed and at all. It's very shocking to read about it, to listen this. What was the impact of these interviews and our students? We had a group of 12 nurse students who conducted the interviews for this research. The impact was impressive, because we never stop to think about what these people, what the vulnerable ones are thinking about health, or what kind of reality they are fighting against, or they are living daily. So I think even the results was not good, but they are, the impact of these students was very important. And I'm sure now, as they are finishing their formation as nurse, now they can think more empathetic way, in an empathetic way, to how to provide the care, and how to plan the care for these people. So we see here the relationship, social problems. The food is a problem. They have place to feed themselves, but public places with a no pay, popular restaurants, but sometimes during the weekends are not open, or for the dinner are not open. So it's true, they have to looking for food in the trash. And of course, this kind of behavior can expose them to illness and to be sick, or so many problems. And we can see the concept about illness for them is in relationship with social factors. In the most of comments, we can realize the relationship of the connection, what they do about illness and God and religion's thoughts. Says their concept about sick is illness is a plague that attacks a person, drains their strength, takes away their energy, and leaves them feeling exhausted. Illness is illness. It's some interesting thoughts about the some spiritual thing making them bad. Health for me is not using drugs, not drinking plenty of water, and trusting in God, right? Because He's the one who gives us health. So they can think if they are in the board of the society, it's because God is not with them. So this relationship is very clear too. So about the path to care, we ask questions about their conceptions. We ask questions about what they do, what where they usually look for care when they need. And about it, we created a board, a chart with the most important references, and I summarize here. They look for help when they need something, when they need to looking for care. They usually looking for your partners. They have a group of support on the streets who can give them support. They have so many abilities, and so now we know someone, that guy, he knows about when you are drunk, he knows what to do. He knows where we can find water. He knows the phone, what we can call. So they usually looking for your partners to help. And in social programs, it's very common too. They have around the city some places to social reference, and even these places do not provide healthcare assistance. They're looking for these places for be directed to the health service. It's a very important point here, because we have two different needs, two different ways or paths of needs, the social needs and the health needs. And of course, they are linked, but politically, they are not linked. The both service, we cannot talk between us, to plan together. It is a problem. When we created our therapeutic itinerary, we include the social service as part of healthcare system. Even as not, we include because it's very important to keep this link, or provide it in social shelters, health care, or in healthcare service, make a connection with social assistance. It's very common. They says, "Oh, I don't looking for anyone. I make my self-care. I taking care. I clean my heart. I'm okay. I just live and it's okay." Sometimes they look for ER service, even by phone, by asking the helpers, the ambulance. And here in our place, it is a problem, because when they realize it's homeless people, sometimes they just provide the care at the place and leave the person on the street, because they don't have for a reference place to conduct this person. It's very sad. And oh, sorry, a word, wrong word. It's common they look for primary health care. In Brazil, we had a law about our health system is organized by territory. So if you live in this neighborhood, you have to go to this service of primary health care. And for homeless people, it is a problem because they don't have an address, a permanent address to provide and receive assistance. So in 2011, they created this law, they prepared this law. If you don't have a permanent address, following the principle of universality of our health system, you can have the assistance in primary health care, even you don't have an address around that territory. So it's very important, but the law exists for more than 10 years, for 14 years, but the managers inside the services or the health professionals don't know anything about it. So it's very common, the homeless people just look for primary health care and says, no, you have to go to ER, you have to go to the hospital because you do not live in our territory. It's a problem too. And about on speech, I take medication on my own right. If it doesn't work, then I look for a doctor. Usually I go to the emergency care unit. Just a speech showing what we said before. So for this research, the next steps are translation of knowledge process, is apply what we realize, making a connection between what the homeless people says, what the health manager says, and what health professionals are saying about this problem. We ask to health managers and to health professionals about training, about what they think when saw a homeless one in the service. So the next steps is to cross this information and trying to make all the standards be accomplished. And for this, we use this motto, nothing about us without us, is what the homeless people says always. We don't have provided health politicians to them. We have to create health politicians to them. It's the principle of our health system to the popular participation. So they are part of the population. They need politicians. What they can create your own politicians with in the health system. And the other important next step is focus on nurse protagonism, to promote equity to vulnerable ones. So we consider the nurses are the important part of health system, and we are in front of the health service. So we had to promote equity to everyone, even the vulnerable one. And if someone needs additional information, if you are seeing the same problem in your country, we can discuss about, and we can discuss our results. We are preparing 3. We have so many articles about this, and I can provide the articles to share the results, the complete results. And finally, probably until this year, the end of this year, we will provide to our politicians here, providers, we will provide the therapeutic itinerary for discuss. So that's it. Thank you for your attention.